I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Izzy, and we need help.
Each week we stumble through a new book, method, or concept that brings us one step closer to being our best self.
Yes, we make fun of ourselves.
And others.
But mostly just ourselves. So here's to not taking self-help quite so seriously.
Welcome to We Need Help. I'm Lizzy.
Oh, look at those guns. And I'm Izzy.
Yes.
And we need stoicism, girl. We need to chill. We need to be stoic.
Stoic.
Stoicism.
What does that mean?
So it's a philosophy, an ancient philosophy that's become really popular because of a guy named Ryan Holiday. He's written a few books on it, but it basically teaches us to live in harmony with nature by developing reason, calm, self-control, just
that
not
sounds
losing our
fun.
shit all the time. So
That
we can
sounds
handle
fun.
whatever life throws at us with calm, with clarity, with just being centered and chilled. And I've been really loving it lately because I've just I'm sick of people losing their shit over minor shit. I think sometimes it can be funny, but sometimes I'm just like, who cares? Like people make drama.
It's like it's a trashy thing to do.
Yeah.
I've noticed people just because I grew up around people that were not as refined.
Yeah.
But I have noticed if people lose their shit, they're usually a little less refined.
Yeah. And it's not about being cold or emotionless or pretending everything's fine and just being numb. It's just about being calm, grounded, resilient. And I think it's sexy. I just think it's sexy. When I see a man losing his shit,
I can't. No.
It's so unattractive to me. Because I don't know if you've seen The Godfather, I'm sure. It's like my
No,
favorite.
it looks like a monkey.
Yeah, it looks like
When a man loses his shit, he looks like a monkey, like a chimpanzee that's like, "Ooh, ooh, ah, ah," and he's like it looks weird. Doesn't it?
it does. So I love The Godfather, love that movie. And there's a scene where it's his daughter's wedding and he's taking in guests and they're asking him for things because he can't refuse them on his daughter's wedding day. And I think his nephew comes in who's an actor, Johnny Fontaine or something like that. And he's like, Godfather, my career. And Godfather just slaps him across the face and he's like, you can be a man. And then he's like,
Yeah.
a guy who can't control his emotions is not a man. And I totally agree with that. Calm your shit,
A calm man. My my love language is somebody who could take a life for me and I wouldn't have to know about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love a man that listens to me and I'll be the balloon, the flying off the handle.
Yeah.
And the passionate, and then a man that quietly solves a situation. There's something so sexy about that. It's just handles it.
Yeah. So my dad is super stoic and
yeah, he is.
Admired him for that so much because I could tell him the most dramatic stuff and he would just be so calm and his energy calmed me down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's gone through so much stuff in his life, like business troubles, diseases, da, da, da. And he's just been he's been calm and strong throughout it. And it's been so impressive to watch. He's never lost his shit. And I think that's power.
Yeah, that is power. If you have control over yourself,
it's power.
Then you have, for a man, it's a must. I think the stoicism is a must because it makes me feel secure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot handle a man that's more dramatic than me. Period.
Oh,
it's unattractive.
It is unattractive. If you want to hear where stoicism came from, because I started researching it and I got
Of course I do.
I'm like, yeah. So I thought it was Roman because Marcus Aurelius, he wrote, meditations, and there's a lot of like stoicism like pulled, and whenever we see quotes online, it's all like his stuff, but it actually came from a Greek guy whose name
Mm,
is Zeno of Citium. Yeah. And he was a super wealthy merchant from Cyprus, and he lost everything, his whole fortune he lost in a shipwreck. And he had a complete
okay.
meltdown. He had a total identity crisis because he lost it all like overnight, right?
Okay.
He's kind of wandering the streets, lost, and I love a good comeback story, and I love
Me
when
too.
something beautiful comes from like a fucking the shit, it's like Phoenix
Yeah.
Rising, like give me more of those. So he wanders into some bookstore, he starts reading about Socrates, he has some sort of epiphany. Um, Kind of starts, looking for similar people. Um, and he gets sent by the owner of the bookstore to Crates the Cynic, who's the cynicism movement, which probably I would like as well a little bit.
Sounds also very hot.
So he starts learning from the cynics. He like respects the values because the cynics are big on like simplicity, right? But he finds them a little too extreme because he likes to be comfortable, and the cynics like reject material wealth. But he was a former rich, wealthy merchant, so he's like, you're a little
No,
extreme.
there's
I want to be comfortable in what I do. So he kind of created his own path that was a little bit more balanced. Um,
okay.
and where Stoicism, because I'm like, where did the name come from? He was teaching in Greek, it's called Stoa Pokyle, which means the painted porch. Stoa
Okay.
means porch. So he was basically like preaching from this place called the Painted Porch, Stoa, and that's where Stoicism came from. And I just thought it was really cool. And it was just
Very cool.
like rock bottom to like purposeful living. So I just thought that was really, really cool.
So did he ever make his money back? Just asking.
I think, oh God, that's a really good question. I'm gonna look that up.
Now I'm
But I'm
stressed out about that.
not sure if he did. But yeah, so it traveled over to Rome from Greece. And then Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, those were some people that took it on and kind of wrote it in a more like personal fashion, like what you can take from Stoicism for yourself. And like sort of the core teachings are control what you can and accept what you can't, right? So
Okay.
real strength is internal. Losing your shit is not power. Controlling yourself is power. So if somebody's
Okay.
like, an event happens and you lose your shit, that's not powerful. But controlling yourself in the face of like something that you could easily say, like, yeah, you're allowed to lose your shit, but controlling yourself in that situation is power, right? Um,
Hmm.
I think that's the tenet that speaks to me the most, right? Like,
What's the fear of not being stoic? What's the opposite?
um,
Why are you drawn to being so,
reactive,
like,
reactive better
yeah,
more than responding. So if you're not stoic, you're essentially a puppet of your external events. So if something bad happens, you feel bad. Something good happens, you feel elated. Stoicism is just kind of bringing it all down like to a very chill like level. So you're no longer at the whim of outside events. Like outside
yeah.
events do not control you. And I just think that is super powerful.
You think so? What I'm hearing is that you're drawn to stoicism because you're drawn to control.
I
Not
think
that
no.
that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. That's
Yeah,
responsibility.
I
That's
don't I'm drawn to stoicism because yes, maybe you're right a little bit, but it's more of I don't want the outside world to control me,
that's
right?
what I'm saying. You like to
Yeah.
be in control.
Yeah, of myself, of my own
Yeah.
reaction, right? So I don't want my higher power to be the look on your face. I don't want my higher power to be the fact that I got a parking ticket and that ruined my day. Like,
Right.
I want to be okay.
Somebody pulled out in front of you.
Yeah,
That's like, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
I don't want outside things to have power over me, right? And
And
that's why I like stoicism.
the act of being stoic in a situation allows you to be grounded in self.
Yeah. And then that's where the power is. That's where my power is, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow this situation to derail me because
Okay.
then you're powerless. You don't have the power. If you're allowing something that is external to completely derail you and make you lose
Yeah.
your shit, you've lost your power, right?
I've got the power. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah. So there's a couple other things that are like important tenets of Stoicism. So serving others, so realizing you're not the center of the universe. And I think
whoa.
that is another thing I'm attracted to because people come to me with their problems and they act like they are the only one on the entire planet that this has ever happened to.
Right.
I'm like, there's millions of people in the world. You know, it's happened to other people too. It's happening. Just fucking deal with it.
Yeah, it's just take it step by step and like I think that's where is it stoicism that said that which does not kill us makes us stronger.
Absolutely. And memento mori is a big thing of theirs. Remember, you will die. Not being dark, but just to clarify, is it worth putting all your energy into being self-pitying, negative, allowing this whole event to take over your day when you're going to die?
Right. Well, I mean live like you're there's an end to this. Like there's something to that. Like the way that you're behaving is it says something about yourself, you
Yeah.
know? I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many times when we are reacting to stuff that we can't control and we're out of control and we're making really poor choices because of it. It's
Yeah.
like a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
You're just knocking off a shit. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
Like I'm just picturing it as like us being a puppet and being jerked around by the world, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just want to do this to the strings, cut them and stand on my
Okay.
own,
Oh, whoa,
right?
whoa, whoa. Okay. You're marionette. You're talking about a marionette. Puppet is like the hamburger helper thing.
Oh, okay, the marionette, yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
I had a finger up my ass. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah,
No, but yeah, you're right. The marionette is very much being pulled on by
yeah.
things that aren't us. And that is okay. All right. I
And
love it.
remaining calm in the face of what would normally be a situation where you can be hysterical. I think it's strong. I think it's sexy.
It's a must for men. And for women, it is, you know, I, my feminine energy is very wild.
Hmm.
I am wild. I have big ideas and now behavior in my feminine energy. But if I can possibly guide, like funnel it to the right things, I would say that is laying in stoicism.
Yeah, but stoicism, because people confuse the two. They think you can't
Okay.
be stoic and big.
Yeah.
Um, and that's not true. You can be as
Okay.
big as you want. You can be as wild as you want. But it's just about not getting hysterical when things
Okay.
go
Yeah.
your way. And just being,
But you can only be stoic that's rested in the negative, like for negative things happen. Can you be stoic in good times?
yeah, I mean, stoicism is generally responding and not reacting to bad things that happen, right?
Okay.
Not getting, end of the world, self-pity, why me? That's because people think stoicism just means like very neutral. But you can be excited, you can be big, you can be moving forward, have this
Okay.
positive energy and still be stoic, just not reacting to like the bad stuff that happens.
Yeah. And that's just the safer place to be anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's be solution based.
Yeah.
Let's stop, let's collaborate, let's listen.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Vanilla Ice said it best. he was teaching us all stoicism.
We didn't even know it.
We did not even know it. It was like he was ahead of, well,
Yeah.
he wasn't ahead of his time because stoicism was a long time ago, but
Yeah. But it's become popular now. It's become really popular because this guy Ryan Holiday, he wrote a couple books on it, and he's got an Instagram channel, and I watch it sometimes, and it's just like, I have a lot of people calling me and they're hysterical about stuff, and my first thing is, so what? That mindset. It's really hard to do on yourself though.
is it?
Can be because we all like justified anger. That's like a thing that we all love to feed. Like I love being
Yeah.
justifiably angry at somebody. And it's if my anger is justified, then and I think therapy sometimes just ruins us all because you have a right to your emotions and you have a right to feel this way. And I sometimes think,
Oh, you got Southern with that.
yeah.
I've never had a Southern therapist. I will say this.
Just own your pain and own your trauma. And like I think too much we're feeding into it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think the so what is a great question to kind of click you out a couple of times because like, okay, God, like this person pulled out in front of me. So
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, she's screwing me over.
So what?
So what?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like it's not in the long term, whether that be 2 weeks sometimes or 2 decades or 2 centuries. If you click out enough, it's so what?
Yeah. And I always think like, okay, what is me getting upset? How is this going to benefit the situation? Is it going to
Yeah.
benefit it in any way, shape, or form?
Well, and I do think like matching somebody else's, like so many times we match the somebody else's energy on something and it doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like Scarlett came in, Fritz went to the bathroom in his litter box and it stinks and I just like was like,
Mm,
that's bad.
yeah.
Good
People
luck with that.
people
Like,
don't like it. People don't like sometimes because they want you to they think you don't care.
well, and do
Sometimes
you?
I just don't.
Do you
I really
care?
don't. But
Like,
people
it's okay not to care.
they want their hysteria to be contagious, and I can't do it, you know?
Yeah, because it feels good. Like, misery loves company.
Company. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why it's like obsessed with company, but like, you have to be careful who you put your misery on.
Mm.
You got to feel the water first. Like, I'll be miserable about something. I'll call MJ
Yeah.
and I'll be like, hey, got a minute? And she'll be like, I'm doing this, this, and this. I'm like, you know what? I'll talk to you later because I know she doesn't need my bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, is it being aware of your own bullshit too?
Have your own bullshit, and it's about not getting lost in it. Not allowing it to define you and, whatever your bullshit is, and just being aware and accepting it.
I think a lot of times I'll call up Jason like a howler monkey and he has to like put his stoic shades on and be like, like he just is calm.
Yeah.
He doesn't react or he just immediately says, "All right, well, we'll like okay, good example. I rammed into something on video on at our house. Like
Yeah.
I hit something with my car.
Yeah.
And Jason just so happened to be looking at the video at the time because he
Good.
stalks me.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with me.
Yeah.
So I immediately call him. I had just got this car. I immediately come and he goes, he picks up the phone. He said, "Well, look at you." I'd be like, he goes, "I saw." I'm like, "Oh my God, I hit my new car." He's like, that I got it on video. Like it was, and he just totally was like, we'll get it fixed. It's fine,
Yeah.
and it was like, then it was immediately funny.
Yeah.
But he matched, like, I thought, oh my God, he's going to be upset. And I
Yeah.
was upset and he wasn't. Like, it was like a grounding force.
Love that. Yeah. That's great. That's hot. That's
That's so
attractive.
hot.
Attractive. And I always
Yeah.
think like my favorite, I don't know who said it, but it's you don't have to make this a thing. And I always think of that. Like, do I have to make this a thing or
Is this a thing?
do I have to like make something out of this? Like can I just let it go and just move on, right? Or do I want to make this a thing and, have it grow and, because it sometimes does feel good to get a little bit wound up, you know?
Oh, yeah. It feels
Yeah.
great. Mutual hate.
Yeah.
Mutual hate is so, so good.
But just not to get too lost in it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to know what you're doing too. You got to, if you're like, a friend of mine and we both hate a certain person, can't stand her.
Yeah.
But we also know that that's sometimes how we connect when we're feeling lazy.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say this because I always talk about gossip is the shortest way to intimacy because it's you and
Yeah.
me gossiping against her and it's a shortcut to intimacy.
Yeah, it's like looking at a Us magazine. Like, well,
Yeah.
you're in the smut. You're part of the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, just be aware of it,
Yeah.
but at least you know that you're doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a choice. You have a choice whether or not you want to make it a thing.
Yeah, and how you can react. That's where your choice is. Because our brains, we're emotional creatures and that's fine, but we do have a choice on how we want to behave, how we want to react. And
Yeah. Have you
that's
ever met somebody who's too stoic? Like, they're fucking annoying and they don't respond to anything and nothing's a big deal?
hmm. I mean, my dad's like that, but I don't know. I just really like
Does
it.
he get excited about anything?
Yeah, he gets excited, but again, Stoics can be excited about stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not. I think we when we hear the word Stoic, we just think
It's
calm.
just sometimes problems are problems.
Yeah, and this is not about like
But I mean, and some
numbing.
things are like a real, like a fire alarm.
Mm,
And I've had people like be like, I'll be like, this is a big deal. And they're like, mm-hmm. And it's
mm,
almost like a freeze response, not stoic. It's more
mm,
of a,
yeah,
I think it could be, you can get yourself mixed up with avoidance is not
yeah.
stoicism.
No, no, no. It's not. Yeah, it's not Stoicism. Or numbing is not Stoicism, right? It's just kind of
Yeah.
accepting. Like I remember a lesson that I had was when my chick's dad lived with us and he had to move in with us for a while and he was falling over, he had Parkinson's and it was bad. And I kept having meltdowns and I called my sponsor and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And she goes, it sucks and just accept it. And for some reason, that was the most stoic thing I could do rather than trying to make it be positive, which is toxic. Just the acceptance
Yeah.
of this sucks and I'm just going to get on with it. That's
Yeah.
stoicism. Like, it sucks, can't change it, just going to get on with it.
Right.
Right.
Not going to pretend it's good.
Not going to pretend it's good because, but I'm just going to say, okay, this is shit. I'm just going to
Yeah.
fucking get on with it and that's it. And not make a drama out of it. Right.
Yeah. I think turning a blind eye can be a little bit accidentally feeling as though you're stoic
Mm,
versus not responding at all,
yeah.
not actually acknowledging and responding.
Yeah.
I think there's a thin line there.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. So interesting. But I think
All right.
we could all use a little bit of it because I think getting hysterical, especially in these times, it's tiring.
That's all I see on the internet.
It's
It's all I
all
see.
in the
I
news.
cannot I cannot believe how much people love Donald Trump and hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I can't believe how upset they are with any, like, I haven't gotten as upset as they are in my life about
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, get a hold of yourself. Like,
Yeah, like, okay, so you don't like focus on what you can do in this situation and not losing your shit emotionally. Like, okay, I like them or I don't like them. Okay, what can I do here to change anything? And focus on doing that.
we're having this big thing here in the States, like people, all these people bought Teslas,
Mhm.
and now people are hate Tesla. I have no problem with either of those people, just so you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
The ones I do is like, okay, you're taking a perfect stranger and you're destroying their car. They're like smashing up people's
I heard, yeah,
cars.
putting like spray painting Nazi symbols.
Swastika.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be very offensive
Yeah.
to people who actually lost family members in the Holocaust.
Yeah. It's awful.
I mean, I, I, the whole thing, it's like, how out of control of your body are you? You are inflicting pain on and suffering on
Yeah.
another person because you're so out of control.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. I try not to talk about anything political, but I don't think that's political. I think destroying people's property is wrong.
Human, it's a human issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, just wanted to share that. Oh,
Well, I couldn't agree more. And I think a stoic man is the sexiest thing on earth. Don't you?
I do. I really do. I mean, that silent strength that like if you just
Oh,
I mean, I remember, this is my dad, but I remember coming to him with serious stuff. And the fact that he was calm made me feel so safe.
so
And I
safe.
think and I think that's what it is. It's like I want to be able to trust that when shit goes down, you will be the calm in the storm.
Yeah. Yep. There was a one moment that I knew I was going to marry Jason.
Yeah.
And I was moving out of an apartment and I was moving in with a roommate and she was driving the U-Haul and ripped the like the side roof off of the house.
Yeah.
And I was telling him what just happened and he said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And literally came over with like some huge saw and put this roof back on the house. You couldn't even tell the difference.
Wow.
And never said a word, just did it.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, like I need, like this guy is like the real deal. Like it's amazing how little he talks to me about problems. Like I have to drag it out of him if there's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
That's another problem. That's like taking it a little too far, but like
Yeah.
there is something to just handling your business.
Handling your business and just being calm. And I don't know if you've ever seen this, but somebody freaking out and the person across from them just remaining very calm. And who do you think is the stronger, Like that's the
Yeah.
strength.
Or it's a narcissist who's gaslighting. I mean,
Maybe,
that's the
but
truth of it. They pretend they're stoic and they make it seem like that after
yeah, because
gaslighting and
they
fire.
like look how insane she is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been there too.
Yeah. That's
Fine line
actually a
between
thing.
stoicism and narcissism.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. Well, I love you.
I love you too. Actually, the difference between stoicism and narcissism in that case is stoicism is made to calm the other person,
Yeah.
and narcissism is made to make them look
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Amen. That's a very good.
So, yeah, you'll know when you're around a stoic person because you feel safer.
Feel
And when
safe.
you're around a narcissist, you feel so unsafe.
Uneasy. Yeah. Amen. All right.
So,
Well, thank you for listening.
thank you. I love ya.
Love you. See you next Tuesday.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us this week on We Need Help, the podcast.
Make sure to like, subscribe, like again our YouTube channel, our Instagram, follow us wherever you can. It really, really helps us out and ensures that you won't miss any future episodes. So, yep, thanks to you, we can keep going.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.